This is News 8 Now this morning.
What this has done is essentially more clarified our abilities to go and make contact with individuals for illegal camping activity, which when it comes to the aspect of addressing something that would be considered illegal, we want to make sure we're on the best legal ground possible.
It's just another opportunity for the community to benefit on the recycling side. Right now is like this material does not end up in the recycling stream. It ends up just in solid waste.
We get together and we're able to learn a lot more about this platform, which will help specifically us try to better our simulations for the students.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye opener. I'm Dua Shar.
I'm Derek Sibley.
It is July 14th, 2023. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It is the end of the week, and we're looking forward to some of that sunshine that's
Yes.
expected to come over the weekend.
Yeah, well, we may see a couple of storms tomorrow, though. Sunday, more of the same here, too. We could see a little bit more peaks of sun. I think as we head into next week, more so, we'll be looking at some better sunshine chances, that is. But, you know, last night, speaking of thunderstorms, that's exactly what happened. That moved through late last night across the Coulee region. In fact, you can see as this radar loop starts over, look at all the showers and storms that roll through late last night. So you're probably woken up to some heavy rainfall and frequent lightning and thunder as well with some of those storms that move through, and even some hail. Temperatures into the 60s now as you head out the door. 66 in La Crosse, 63 in Eau Claire. Here's a check on your overall planner. We're going to be looking at mixed clouds and sunshine here as we head through around 11 o'clock. Temperatures in the 60s to start, in the 70s by 9. Then we're in the 80s by 11 o'clock and mid 80s here as we head into the afternoon. Mainly cloudy skies. Chances of showers and storms as we head into early this evening. A check on your allergy report. Pine and weed pollen low. Mold is high. Got the same forecast for tomorrow with those allergens. Now expect the low pollen levels but high mold levels to continue for just a couple of more weeks. So stay tuned. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. We have more storm chances here coming up, and I'll let you know about the timing and details of those coming up in just a bit. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. The Juneau County Sheriff's Office continues to search for a missing woman. Leah Stewart hasn't been seen since the 4th of July. She was last seen in the area of 43rd Street in the township of Lemonwire, wearing a black shirt and dark shorts with no shoes. She is described as being 5 foot 5 inches and weighing about 150 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. Leah has pierced ears and tattoos on her right shoulder, right leg, and back. If you have any information about where she may be, you should call the Juneau County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. The pallet fire in Waushara County that started on Monday is now 100% contained. Local crews are still on the scene, monitoring for any flare-ups and are continuing cleanup efforts. The fire started south of Highway 21, southeast of Coloma. During the fire, 730 acres burned. 3 primary structures and 16 secondary structures were lost. The wildfire was caused by debris burning. Leventis 2 for a revised ordinance that gives them the clarification needed to take action. The proposed ordinance amendment, will restrict overnight camping on city property and ban it where there are signs saying no camping. The vote comes as more unsheltered residents are living in lacrosse parks and parking ramps. According to council member Barb Jansen, the revised ordinance provides more guidance on what camping is. She says it's the behavior of the unsheltered individuals that has led to the revised ordinance.
You know, if you can't walk down a stairwell and be comfortable because of individuals' poor behavior, that's an issue.
La Crosse Assistant Police Chief Jason Melby says the new ordinance provides policy clarity for officers.
What this has done is essentially more clarified our abilities to go and make contact with individuals for illegal camping activity, which when it comes to the aspect of addressing something that would be considered illegal, we want to make sure we're on the best legal ground possible.
Before the vote, News 8 spoke with a woman who's been experiencing homelessness since last September. She says she believes she should have the right to camp where she wants. The mayor will have 3 business days to reject or appeal the Common Council's decision. Styrofoam mattresses and other foam materials can take up a lot of space in landfills, but this might no longer be a problem in La Crosse County. In May, Hilltopper Refuse and Recycling was awarded the Foam Recycling Coalition's $50,000 grant to begin recycling foam materials. Now, Hilltopper Refuse will work with La Crosse County and Seven Rivers Recycling to start a foam recycling program.
It's just another opportunity for the community to benefit on the recycling side. Right now is like this material does not end up in the recycling stream, it ends up just in solid waste.
The coalition will use the grant money to purchase equipment that can process foam materials. Once processed, the foam can be made into other materials like crown molding or picture framing. Wisconsin's governor has approved $1.7 million for improvements to 2 major roads in Monroe County. Wisconsin's DOT says crews will add rumble strips on Wisconsin 71 between Sparta's Harmony Avenue and North Street in Wilton. Then Wisconsin 27 between Sparta's north city limits and County Lane will get paved shoulders and pavement markings and rumble strips to both the center line and shoulders. DOT says both roads will remain open with flagging operations. The work for both is expected to finish in early September. Governor Tony Evers has appointed a replacement to the Vernon County District Attorney's position. Angela Palmer Fisher will fill the vacancy created by District Attorney Timothy Gaskell. Gaskell left the position after being elected to the Vernon County Circuit Court. Palmer Fisher will serve for the remainder of the term, which ends January 2025. Representative Derek Van Orden has announced new resources for farmers whose crops are affected by drought. The USDA has established a disaster designation in Wisconsin. Farmers in Vernon, Juneau, and Richland counties will be eligible for Farm Service Agency emergency loans. Farmers will have 8 months to apply for the loans. You can contact your local FSA office or Representative Van Orden's office for more information. Viterbo hosted the 16th Annual Education Management Solutions Summit. EMS provides the software used in Viterbo's Simulation Center. The summit is a national conference. The event was the first one in person since COVID. The summit teaches participants how to collect data and record video and audio on the software.
We get together and we're able to learn a lot more about this platform, which will help specifically us try to better our simulations for the students.
The Simulation Center lets students learn new skills in a safe space before they start their clinicals. After practicing in the center, Dietz says students are better prepared for real-world situations. A Great Rivers United Way tradition that's been around since 1995 is now back. News 8 Now's Michael Germain tagged along with a group of employees who had the day off and used it to volunteer.
Helping United Way funded agencies take care of projects that they may not be able to do by themselves.
It's the little things that matter most. Landscaping, painting, power washing, the things many folks in our community can't do by themselves.
Feels good to give, so people are out there having an impact today.
Many employers gave people the day off so they could roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. The Great Rivers United Way says it's a great way for folks to give back by doing things they enjoy.
We saw some women painting at the parenting place, and they're like, I like to paint, so I signed up for this, and I'm helping out this agency at the same time.
Also a day to learn new skills and meet new people.
All these volunteers are getting to know these agencies and what they are all about. Volunteers are really making a difference with their gift of time today to help United Way funded agencies.
The folks here say it's all in a day's work.
And it's continued on an annual basis. It happens typically every July. And to date, there's been over 2,000 volunteers that have helped United Way funded agencies take care of projects.
In La Crosse, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
The Great Rivers United Way says volunteers provided as much as $14,000 in man hours. A local nature-focused community center is showing off some changes to its building. The Nature Place held a grand opening to showcase the improvements they've made to the facility since rebranding independently from the Wisconsin Conservation Corps. Some of the improvements include an updated website, new furniture design, layout, games, guides to walk the grounds, and garden landscape.
Along with our new brand, we have a new mission here at the Nature Place, and the mission of the Nature Place is to inspire and cultivate meaningful connections between people and nature for the benefit of both.
Part of the new developments were expansion to make the facility more accessible, inclusive, and welcoming place for the community to come together. They are offering a variety of educational programs for the public. If you are interested in more information on the Nature Place, we will have a link on our website, news8000.com. Well, still ahead on your morning news, demand for gas is dropping, which means prices should be lowered, but those prices are still going up at the pump. And U.S. Congress is feeling the pressure to regulate artificial intelligence. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Disney World is celebrating an exciting new arrival. A female white Shetland pony was born Tuesday morning at the Tri-Circled Ranch in Bay Lake, Florida. The new pony, like Lily, will begin training at the ranch when she is 2 years old. The hope is one day she will help pull Cinderella's pumpkin coach for Disney's fairy tale weddings and parades at the Magic Kingdom Park and Walt Disney World Resort. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Air quality alerts here are in effect here for southeastern Minnesota. This is going to go until 8 a.m. today through 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That is from the particulates from wildfire smoke, high levels of ozone causing unhealthy conditions for sensitive groups. Here's a check on your current temperatures, and we're into the 60s, 63 in Eau Claire, 66 is the temperature in La Crosse, and a check now on your dog walking conditions. Mostly sunny here for the morning, and then that will continue into the afternoon as well. Looking at some increasing cloud cover, however, as we head into this evening, that could lead to some showers and storms. And speaking of that, we had some showers and strong thunderstorms that roll through during the overnight hours. Now we're on the clear side, and we're going to be looking at that trend here through at least the early part of the afternoon. We may see a few thunderstorms develop, though, as we head into the late afternoon to early evening. Highs in the upper 80s to low 90s in La Crosse County, 88 today in Solders Grove. Looking at a high of 90 in La Crescent today, 86 in Melrose, and we're looking at highs around 85 today in Warrens. To the west in Arcadia, you'll be at 87 degrees. Chippewa Valley, mid to upper 80s for you, high of 87 in Eau Claire. A slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm possible. If you're in Augusta, you're looking at a high of about 86 degrees this afternoon today. I'll have another check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes, and we'll talk about some of those rain chances that we could be looking at, plus some storm reports from last night as well in just a bit.
In your consumer news this morning, despite a drop in gasoline demand in the days after July 4th, prices at the pump inched 3 cents higher over the past week. The main cause is higher oil prices, which jumped from the upper $60 a barrel to more than $70. Gas demand decreased significantly last week, according to new data from the Energy Information Administration. While lower gas demand typically pushes pump prices lower, rising oil prices have lifted them. If oil prices continue to rise, pump prices will likely follow suit. The U.S. Drug and Food Administration has approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill. The oral contraception will be available without a prescription at drugstores, grocery stores, and online. The FDA says when used as directed, the daily pill is safe and it is expected to be more effective than other non-prescription contraceptive methods. During testing, the most common side effect was irregular bleeding, headaches, dizziness, nausea, increased appetite, cramps, or bloating. Amazon scores its largest Prime Day in company history. Consumers spent $12.7 billion during Amazon's Prime Day sales on July 11th and 12th. Shoppers bought 375 million items over the two-day sale, up from 300 million last year. Adobe Analytics said it was a record 2 days for online shopping overall. Since Prime Day began in 2015, other chains, including Walmart and Best Buy, have also offered deals to capture shoppers' attention and spending during slow sales in the summer months. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are racing to regulate artificial intelligence, saying the fast-moving technology poses major threats to national security, the U.S. economy, and American jobs. But as more companies start to focus on emerging tech, regulation can be difficult. Patrick Cornell has the details.
Investing in AI. On Wednesday, Elon Musk announcing he's launching his own artificial intelligence company to focus on the rapidly evolving tech and possibly build a rival to ChatGPT.
You can't put genies like this back in bottles.
The announcement comes one day after the first ever classified Senate briefing on AI. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agreeing artificial intelligence should be regulated.
These hearings are not about any one thing. It's to get all 100 members to a level where when we start to legislate, we can try to do it the best way possible.
But the big question is how? On Tuesday, the White House briefed lawmakers about the dangers from national security risks to threats to the U.S. economy and American jobs.
It's going to put some people out of work. It'll create new jobs, but it's going to eliminate some jobs, and it's going to have a real societal impact.
What's the validation of AI-related content? There's tremendous intellectual property concerns.
And while no clear plan emerged from that meeting, some lawmakers who spoke afterwards said Congress should consider adopting some sort of legislative safeguards to limit the fast-moving technology. But it's complicated.
All the issues AI will impact, national security may well be the most consequential in the wrong hands. But AI could also become one of the greatest tools we have for keeping America safe.
Even the creators of the technology are asking lawmakers for help. Back in May, the CEO of the company behind ChatGPT testified before Congress.
My name is Sam Altman.
And proposed creating a new federal agency to regulate AI. Since then, a bill has been reintroduced to do just that, but has not been voted on.
The new concerns in Congress also come after a group of AI industry leaders warned in an open letter written in May that the new tech could cause a risk of extinction equal to that of pandemics and nuclear war. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast. Forecast that's definitely not AI generated.
Yeah, definitely not. It's generated by yours truly here. And we are going to be looking at these air quality alerts here, by the way. So I want to go ahead and talk about this first before we get to your weather. And you can see southeast Minnesota is under this until starting from 8 a.m. this morning. So about an hour or so after the newscast, and then 3 p.m. on Saturday, this will go into effect here. We got the particulates from the wildfire smoke, high levels of ozone, and that's creating unhealthy conditions for sensitive groups, so just be aware of that. 66 degrees and sunshine are the current weather conditions now in La Crosse, and as we take a look now at Eau Claire, you're currently at 63 degrees, southwest winds at 5 miles an hour. And on satellite and radar picture, we did notice some heavy showers and thunderstorms that rolled through overnight here across the area. And, some of these turned relatively severe. We saw some hail reports that were picked up in Wabasha County and also down into Winona County. We did also see some large hail reports. They were mainly around 1 inch in diameter or so, and some hail reports I saw just over 1 inch here too. So we had some of those thunderstorms that produced some of those hailstones and also some gusty winds and heavy rain as they move through. Turning mostly cloudy by 4 o'clock and maybe even some showers as we head into early this evening. We'll get to that in a second. Current temperatures as you head outside are mainly in the 60s. We're warming up, however, into the mid to upper 80s to low 90s during this afternoon. So we'll check on Sky Tracker and you can see that we will be looking at the mixed clouds and sunshine effect here through 10 o'clock. Here come some developing scattered showers and thunderstorms though as we head into the afternoon, and it looks like it may hang around here as we head into early this evening, and then we'll start to see some clearing as we head into tonight. Now I am watching our next system to the north. This is a cold front that we're watching, and that is going to start to move into the Coulee region as we head into Saturday afternoon. So tomorrow afternoon, bringing us another chance of seeing a few showers and thunderstorms to the area as that front continues to slide its way south. Slight chance of a shower still possible as we head into Saturday night, and then by early Sunday morning around 3 a.m. I'm expecting some clear skies, and we'll start off the rest of the day on Sunday looking at just a mix of clouds and sun here, watching for another slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. I think it looks like a lot of it will be well to the north and some showers and storms to the south, so that's why we're thinking that only a minimal chance here, but we can't really completely rule it out, however, and then that could probably linger as we head into Sunday evening. But I think the main rain chances will be once again today and then again tomorrow. Sunday, again, very minimal chance of a shower or storm, but otherwise partly cloudy. Monday and Tuesday, much drier though. Mostly sunny, highs in the low 80s there. Another chance of showers and storms possible for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. All right, stay with us. So we're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look what happened on this day in history for July 14th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. The Legion season is coming down the final stretch, not just for the baseball teams, but for the softball squads as well. And we had a back-and-forth thriller yesterday in Onalaska, Post 336 taking on the River City Rage at Luther. Pick it up in the 6th, tied at 7. Go ahead, run at 3rd, but Onalaska gets out of it. Clarissa Shaw tosses it over to 1st. Post 336 out of trouble. Then in the bottom of the inning, Onalaska jumps in front thanks to Jenna Harrington. She lines a base hit to left. Chloe Dummer scores to make it 8-7. Anna girls not done. Still in the 6th, Kayla Schultz finds the gap in left center. Harrington comes in to score. Onalaska goes up 3, but here comes the Rage, top 7. Sophia Larkin goes back up the box for a base hit. 2 runs come in to score. We're tied at 10. Bottom 7 now. Bases loaded for Onalaska, and this is going to end it. The ball goes to the backstop. Here comes Maddie Jorgensen from 3rd. Post 336 walks it off in a thriller, 11-10. La Crescent on the road in Wayland taking on the Gamblers, and this one all Lancers. Kinley Groton pokes one in a left center. That finds the gap. La Crescent gets on the board, and they keep it going. Abby Ernster, 2 RBI, knocked to right field. Lancers jump ahead by 3. Then it's Erin Forge joining the party. She bloops a single, eventually scores on a pass ball. La Crescent goes up 5-0. 2nd inning, much of the same from the Lancers. Groton again with an RBI shot to the grass to bring in Molly Bills. Ernster following with a hit of her own to get Groton in. Lancers win it big, 13-2. They also take game 2, 8-6. Lancers begin Legion tournament play next Tuesday at home. Loggers exploded for 31 runs on Wednesday in their doubleheader sweep over Eau Claire. Lacrosse staying hot last night against Duluth, bottom 4. Troy Leneve crushes a no-doubter to right center. 2-run shot for the Loggers puts them in front 4-3. Huskies would tie it, but then at the bottom of the 6th, Danny Neary unties it. He lines a base hit down the right field line. Ben Sigler-Namoa comes in to score to make it 5-4 Lacrosse, and the Loggers still chopping away later in the inning. Gable Mitchell joins the party. He lines one back up the box. Another run comes in to score. Loggers bats stay red hot. They get their 3rd straight win, 11-5. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Minnesota's marijuana legalization law gives cities and counties some power to regulate cannabis. That includes temporarily banning cannabis businesses until January 2025. As Caroline Cummings reports, some communities already initiated those bans.
Starting August 1st, Minnesotans will be able to have up to 2 pounds of marijuana in their home. But buying weed at a dispensary like this
I'll put receipt in the bag.
Won't happen as quickly. In the meantime, local governments, though, have questions.
The cannabis bill was 300 plus pages long, so trying to, most cities haven't gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. So what does this mean? What are the highlights?
When it's up and running, the Office of Cannabis Management will be the state regulatory agency tasked with licensure and enforcement of the rules. But the law does allow cities and counties to adopt reasonable restrictions about when and where cannabis businesses can operate.
That includes prohibiting them within 1,000 feet of a school or within 500 feet of a daycare, public park, or residential treatment facility. Cities and counties can also press pause with moratoriums on cannabis businesses until January 2025. On Monday, the West St. Paul City Council passed one until that date.
We're not going to allow these certain types of businesses within our community for right now to give us a time to study the issue, look at what kind of regulations are going to be put in place, or what do we want, what's best for our community.
There's a lot. We're still learning.
Meanwhile, the Hopkins City Council is also considering a moratorium for 120 days. A final vote is scheduled for next week.
There's just aspects of the program where the devil is in the details, and so those details have not come out yet. And so we just like a chance to hit pause and to be able to take some time to look at the different rules that are coming out and make decisions that are best for Hopkins.
Minnesota's 1st District Congressman is introducing a bipartisan bill that would dedicate mental health resources for farmers. Republican Brad Finstad and other lawmakers are supporting the Rural Wellness Act. The bill would reauthorize USDA grants to help rural areas establish telemedicine and broadband projects so farmers have access to mental health and substance use treatment. Rural communities wanting to apply for grants would need to have a population of 20,000 or fewer. Grants would be between $50,000 and $1 million. The Minnesota State College Southeast held an event celebrating the CNC machine tool team's accomplishments at the Project MFG Advanced Manufacturing Championships. In May, the team was one of 4 in the country to be invited to Greenville Technical College in South Carolina to compete for the championship title and the $100,000 grand prize.
It was just a great experience. I'm so proud of what the students accomplished. The students were so talented and worked so hard to become the national champions.
The competition was part of the web series Clash of Trades. We will have a link on our website, news8000.com. A Wisconsin school board is blocking teachers from posting signs that say this is a safe space. The Arrowhead School Board, a suburb north of Milwaukee, passed the new policy on Wednesday. The board made its decision after debating the issue for 3 hours.
My child is scared as hell to come here because she doesn't feel like there's going to be a safe place for her.
These people have tried to hijack our schools for too long. That safe spaces are nothing more than places that dumb down our citizenry and our students.
6 board members voted to approve the new policy and 3 voted against. Supporters say safe zones promote one group over others and create a feeling of isolation and division. That is why they don't want them in schools or classrooms. A Milwaukee area teacher is preparing for a legal challenge after losing her job over the song Rainbow Land Wednesday. The Waukesha School Board calls it controversial and has banned students from performing it for school concerts. First grade teacher Melissa Temple disagrees with the decision and has made that clear on social media and with reporters. The board says that's a violation of its policies and grounds for termination. Temple's attorney argues she now has grounds for a lawsuit under the First Amendment. We all know how hazy this summer has been, with dozens of air quality alerts already issued this year. David Schumann visited with scientists watching the skies to learn how they make those decisions.
Fenced off on the side of I-94 overlooking downtown Minneapolis is a small shed. Nate Niebling with the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency operates the equipment inside and on the roof, collecting data for MPCA meteorologists to analyze.
We measure air quality in sensors like this, all around different sensors that ingest air. We're looking for ozone and then particulate matter.
The collected air is measured in here.
Levels are looking pretty good right now, 3.9, that's pretty stellar compared to last week. Last week we saw numbers up in the hundreds, which since I started working here I've never seen.
Readings that high mean hazy skies and dangerous air. Matt and his team make the call to issue an alert.
We as meteorologists have to look at the weather conditions, and then we look at the upstream observations and kind of get a sense of what we think is going to happen. We try to get air quality alerts out 12 to 24 hours in advance.
There have been 24 alerts this year, a record number, and this is before Canada's busy wildfire season has even really started.
Last week and the week before just really highlighted for me the importance of the work we do and what it means to folks.
Matt says Canada's wildfires aren't going away, but the question of unsafe air being our new summer normal depends on the weather.
That's our job, basically. It's just another type of weather forecasting, but a very specialized one. And so this data is the ground truth, is the gold standard.
There are 8 other sensor stations in the Minneapolis metro area and 24 total across the state. You can buy a high-end air quality sensor for your own home for roughly $250. And here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Drew. I do want to go ahead and start off with some of the air quality alerts here. I know we were just talking about that. They are going into effect for southeast Minnesota from starting at 8 o'clock this morning and going until 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. We got the particulates from the wildfire smoke creating high levels of ozone, and that in turn is causing unhealthy conditions, especially for those of you that fall under the unhealthy sensitive group category. Our temperatures are currently into the 60s, 63 in Eau Claire, 66 in La Crosse. We saw some showers and some heavy thunderstorms that rolled through overnight last night. Heavy heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and even some hail reports with that as well. For today, pretty hot one, a high of 90. Isolated thunderstorms, especially later in the day, turning hot with west-southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, as we head into tonight, isolated thunderstorms are possible once again. Low of 65, partly cloudy skies, otherwise west-southwest winds at around 5 to 10. So a check on your mowing conditions today. 71 degrees to start this morning, 83 by noon, mostly sunny, and then we turn mainly cloudy, 87 degrees. Pretty nice day to really go ahead and mow the lawn if you haven't yet so far this week. I'll have a final check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes, and we'll talk about some of those upcoming rain chances that we could be dealing with, plus a check on those storm reports from yesterday. We'll also have your buzz report as well after the break. Air quality alerts here are going into effect from 8 o'clock this morning until 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon on Saturday for southeastern Minnesota. We got the particulars from that wildfire smoke again that is creating high levels of ozone, and therefore if you fall underneath this sensitive group category, make sure you're taking this extra seriously. So let's take a look at those current weather conditions now in La Crosse. Sunshine, 66 degrees here currently. Visibility picture perfect at 10 miles, as you can see from City Cam 8 behind me. South-southeast winds light at 6 miles an hour. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, nice visibility levels here too. A little bit lower here, however, 8 miles, but not really causing any concerns here on the roadway. 63 degrees with clear skies here at the moment. We saw some heavy showers and thunderstorms roll through overnight across the Coulee region, and some of those thunderstorms produced some severe weather in the form of seeing hail, and you can see areas like Wabasha County just north of Plainview, south into Winona County also saw their fair share of some hail reports just outside of the city of Winona here as well. And a lot of these hailstones were around 1 inch or so or higher in diameter. So there were some pretty significant thunderstorms that rolled through here late last night. Now behind those storms, we're looking mostly sunny through at least noon today. We will be looking at mostly cloudy temperatures turning at 90 degrees by 4 o'clock today. Scattered showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder moving through as we head into early this evening. I'll get to that here in a second. But first, as you head out the door, temperatures are currently into the 60s, and our forecast highs today will be warming their way up into the mid to upper 80s. Some spots like La Crosse County and also down into Boscobel looking at highs today around 90 degrees this afternoon. As of right now, things are looking quiet on Sky Tracker. Mixed clouds and sunshine, really to say the least, throughout much of the morning. Here comes those showers and thunderstorms developing though as we head into this afternoon, and that will continue that trend as we head into early this evening as well. You can see there in some spots there. And as we head into overnight tonight, we will look at some lesser rain chances, some drier air moves in. That will help get rid of the thunderstorms, along with that lack of daytime heating to help with that as well. But we're also watching this cold front as we head into early Saturday morning, positioned to our north by that point. However, by tomorrow afternoon, that's when it begins to move through the Coulee region. Showers and thunderstorms right up along and ahead of that cold front as it pushes through. Slight chance of a shower storm possible as we head into Saturday night here, however. By early Sunday morning, we will be looking at some clear conditions to start, followed by mixed clouds and sun as we head into Sunday morning around 10 o'clock or so. I am watching carefully for another slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, mainly to the north and also down to the south. Not everybody will see this. Very limited chance, just a couple of pop-ups here and there. Can't be completely ruled out. Otherwise, enjoy the weekend, especially on Sunday. We'll see some much drier conditions for Monday and Tuesday. Looking at another chance of showers and thunderstorms perhaps for Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
In our morning buzz report, Beyonce is bringing her Renaissance World Tour into the U.S. The R&B singer started her Renaissance tour in Europe. According to Live Nation, this month there will be shows in Nashville, Louisville, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, and the New York area. Renaissance is her 7th album. Beyonce is also known for being the recording artist with the most Grammy nominations in history.
I haven't seen my daughter, and now her daughter shows up at my front doorstep with not a word.
I think my parents are in some kind of trouble.
Actor Nicolas Cage plays a retiree turned beach bum in the upcoming action comedy The Retirement Plan. Cage's character is pulled into rescuing his daughter and son-in-law after they're kidnapped by a criminal gang. The Retirement Plan premieres in theaters August 25th. The cause for Lisa Marie Presley's death has been revealed. According to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, Presley died from a small bowel obstruction. This is a blockage in the small intestine which can be caused by things like a hernia or scar tissue. The deputy medical examiner accredited her small bowel obstruction to complications from a weight loss surgery she received. Presley died hours after being hospitalized after going into an apparent cardiac arrest on January 13th. Lisa Marie Presley was 54 years old when she died.
Because the AMPTP remains unwilling to offer a fair deal on key issues essential to protecting the livelihoods of working actors and performers, SAG-AFTRA's national board unanimously voted to issue a strike order against the studios and streamers.
Your favorite shows may come to a halt as the Screen Actors Guild, which represents over 160,000 actors, approved a strike. The union's national director and chief negotiator said they could not come to a fair deal after weeks of talks with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. The AMPTP took aim at the union in a statement saying they have chosen a path that will lead to financial hardship for those who depend on the industry. This comes as the Writers Guild of America has been on strike for the past 2 months.
2 months. Hopefully they can get what they need so that way we can continue those shows.
I mean, paying writers and
they're important.
background
so I need
actors and crew members a living wage, I think is very necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, switching a little gears, we're going back to Look Who's 8.
Yeah, we're going to start with Dylan today. He's turning 8. Now, he loves reading, playing with his younger sister, and is always learning new things. Happy birthday, Dylan.
Mary is turning 88 years old today. She enjoys spending time with her family, working in the yard, and many fraternal organizations.
Diane is turning 88 years old today. She loves coffee or her, quote, wake-up juice, and visits from her extensive family, which includes 9 great-grandchildren.
If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. On your Morning News Now, the Juneau County Sheriff's Office continues to search for a missing woman. Leah Stewart hasn't been seen since the 4th of July. She was last seen in the area of 43rd Street in the town of Lemonweir wearing a black shirt and dark shorts and with no shoes. She is described as being 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighing about 150 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. Leah has pierced ears and tattoos on her right shoulder, right leg, and back. If you have any information about where she may be, you should call the Juneau County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. The pallet fire in Waushara County that started on Monday is now 100% contained. Local crews are still on the scene monitoring for any flare-ups and are continuing cleanup efforts. The fire started south of Highway 21 southeast of Coloma. During the fire, 730 acres burned. 3 primary structures and 16 secondary structures were lost. The wildfire was caused by debris burning. Wisconsin's governor has approved $1.7 million for improvements to 2 major roads in Monroe County. Wisconsin's DOT says crews will add rumble strips on Wisconsin 71 between Sparta's Harmony Avenue and North Street in Wilton. Then Wisconsin 27 between Sparta's North City limits and County Lane will get paved shoulders and pavement markings and rumble strips to both the center line and shoulders. DOT says both roads will remain open with flagging operations. The work for both is expected to finish in early September. Governor Tony Evers has appointed a replacement to the Vernon County District's attorney position. Angela Palmer Fisher will fill the vacancy created by District Attorney Timothy Gaskell. Gaskell left the position after being elected to the Vernon County Circuit Court. Palmer Fisher will serve for the remainder of the term, which ends in January 2025. A Milwaukee area teacher is preparing for a legal challenge after losing her job over the song Rainbow Land Wednesday. The Waukesha School Board calls it controversial and has banned students from performing it for school concerts. First grade teacher Melissa Temple disagrees with the decision and has made that clear on social media and with reporters. The board says that's a violation of its policies and grounds for termination. Temple's attorney argues she now has grounds for a lawsuit under the First Amendment. Representative Derek Van Orden has announced new resources for farmers whose crops are affected by drought. The USDA has established a disaster designation in Wisconsin. Farmers in Vernon, Juneau, and Richland counties will be eligible for Farm Service Agency emergency loans. Farmers will have 8 months to apply for the loan. You can contact your local FSA office or Representative Van Orden's office for more information. Minnesota's 1st District Congressman is introducing a bipartisan bill that would dedicate mental health resources for farmers. Republican Brad Finstad and other lawmakers are supporting the Rural Wellness Act. The bill would reauthorize USDA grants to help rural areas establish telemedicine and broadband projects so farmers have access to mental health and substance use treatment. Rural communities wanting to apply for grants would need to have a population of 20,000 or fewer. Grants would be between $50,000 and $1 million. And a local nature-focused community center is showing off some changes to its building. The Nature Place held a grand opening to showcase the improvements they've made to the facility since rebranding independently from the Wisconsin Conservation Corps. Some of the improvements include an updated website, new furniture design, layout, games, guides to walk the grounds, and a garden landscape.
Along with our new brand, we have a new mission here at the Nature Place, and the mission of the Nature Place is to inspire and cultivate meaningful connections between people and nature for the benefit of both.
Part of the new developments were expansion to make the facility more accessible, inclusive, and welcoming space for the community to come together. They are offering a variety of educational programs for the public. If you are interested in more information on the Nature Place, we will have a link on our website, news8000.com.
And here's a final check on your planner here overall today, looking at mostly sunny skies, as you can see behind me from CityCam, and we will continue that trend as we progress throughout the late morning hours. Increasing clouds, though, by the later afternoon today, with a chance of showers and storms by this evening. High temperatures into the 80s today and low 90s. So check on your 8-day forecast. Tomorrow, another slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Looking at some drier conditions for the start of next week, and a chance of showers and storms again for Wednesday and Thursday. Highs mainly into the 80s, low temperatures mainly in the 50s and low 60s. So, it's not a bad idea to keep that umbrella handy. You may run to a pop-up shower or thunderstorm during the afternoon. Kind of that same trend that we've been seeing here the last few days.
Yeah.
So just keep it handy.
I remember leaving work yesterday and there was a torrential downpour.
Yep,
I was
exactly.
shocked. The only thing I had in here was my winter jacket, so I had to put on a North Face jacket and walk out, and I looked so silly.
Exactly.
But any fun plans this weekend, Derek?
Fun plans. Does catching up on sleep count?
I feel like that is such a trend working this shift.
I feel like I say that like every weekend
Yeah.
too.
I'm
It's
like,
not
what are
bad.
you doing this weekend? Derek's like, sleeping. All right, check back in with you next week for the same answers. But I agree, I agree, especially moving from day side to
absolutely.
this.
I can imagine. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a huge shock to your body.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. Don't forget to keep up with us on News of the Day at noon. We'll see you back here later today.